Hey all, I hope everyone is doing well today. Today is Monday, the 27th, and tomorrow will be the beautiful new moon in our beautiful Cancer sign. So Cancer is the first zodiac sign of the water signs, and this new moon is all about new beginnings and being present with your emotions, being fluid with how you're feeling, and allowing yourself to feel it and release it, and to witness it, like to just be present with it and not to judge it, not to be frustrated or angry or anything. Like, don't be judgmental, whether it's for yourself or for others. So this new moon is really asking us to be present and just to be in that aspect of allowing change and allowing the ebb and flow of life. There's a lot of influx of solar energy coming forward, has been for quite some time now, but this last little while has been extremely heavy. So that's my bunny making noise back there, by the way. I made a fort for him in my office because that way he's not chewing my cords. So this moon is asking us to surrender to it, surrender to the fluidity, surrender to the newness, and allow ourselves to move forward. And, not allow ourselves to be held back by the past, or not allow ourselves to be held back by toxic comforts and things where we found peace before that we know within ourselves that are just not healthy for us. So it's really asking us to release our grip and surrender to the newness, surrender to the new beginning, surrender to our emotions and what we're feeling, allow them to come and allow them to go. So it's very much about the ebb and flow and the fluidity of the things that can be coming to surface right now. So I'm going to be doing a pick a crystal reading and with oracle cards. I did do a brief one on Instagram at Exhale Breathe Begin, just a one card pull to kind of give you a brief idea. So hopefully you've joined us from there and going to experience the full reading now. Okay, my love, so let's get started. Let's see now. I'm going to put you in a place of, so my bunny's not just all up in it. Okay. All right, my loves, let's see. So our first pile is our beautiful Celestite. And I chose raw crystals today because I just, like I was saying before, like the energy of the raw crystals I find a little more intense than the tumbled. And I love all crystals, but some days the raw ones just give it that little extra. So this is malachite. And our third one is Rhodochrosite. And again, this is the raw form of the crystals, which just gives it more depth, and hopefully the camera's doing them some justice. So pile 1, Celestite. Pile 2, malachite. Pile 3, Rhodochrosite. Okay, let's see, my loves. For our Celestite pile 1s, what do we have for you today? So again, I'm going to be also pulling some cards at the end for collective, from some Moonology cards and Queen of the Moon cards, and also surrender cards. So that'll be a collective message for all of us. All right, let's see now. So our pile 1s. Beautiful. So we have our first card, which is there is only the light, or there is only light. Our second one is let your light shine. And our third one is color. So what I'm feeling is very much about you standing in your own power. Like the light that is within you has finally started to really expand and really transform you in a way that you never really expected. And in a sense of, hold on, I have personal power. I have control. I have all that I need within me. And it feels like there's been quite a road to get to this point, but allowing yourself to remain in your own power without being distracted by the outside world, without being distracted by the energies around you, whether it's, friends or coworkers or just the general population if you have to work in a busy environment, so to speak. So it's like they're just asking you to make sure that you're standing in your own power, standing in your own light, and not allowing outside influences to pull you back down into that fear-based mentality of that kind of 3D ick. And a lot of things are happening, right now outside of us that we have no control over as far as how we contribute to it. So Spirit's just asking us to, be present with ourselves, be present in our own power, because the more we are feeling aligned and the more we are feeling in that light and in that loving energy and that loving vibration of, self-empowerment and divine feminine, that is what is going to help that shift and the collective energies on a whole. So the better you feel, the more inner peace and the more confident and the more loving that you're feeling towards yourself, that's what you're emanating to the world, rather than us getting stuck in the muck and emanating, the shit stuff that's coming out and the lowering the vibration on a whole. So they're asking us to stay in that high vibe and stay in that vibration of, rainbows and butterflies. Because letting your light shine. And if you see in this card, she's emanating heart, which is love. And as cheesy as it sounds, love is the answer. It sounds cheesy, but that's just a fact. Love is truly the answer, because that's a vibration that we're transitioning to. That's that's the influx of solar energy we're getting in right now. And it's really like there's a lot of solar flares happening and whatnot. And it's very much about that switch and that change of moving from the toxicity of the lower divine masculine that we've been in for 1,000 years, which is war and hate and power struggles and all of that kind of thing, to this divine healed divine feminine energy of love and connection and oneness, and remembering that we are oneness. Like where we come from is pure and unconditional love. So we're returning to that vibration. And the more we emanate that through ourselves, the more the collective heals, the more the collective energy of peace and bliss and people getting to live, in a vibration of love, in a vibration of receiving, that abundant and loving energy of what you're born. Like you're born to be abundant, you're born to feel love, you're born to, be the highest vibration of self. So they're asking you to stay in your vibration, so that, because it feels like there's distractions around you and things have been coming to the surface as of late, especially, and kind of throwing you off track. So it's like, oh, I felt so good yesterday, how come I'm feeling so crap today, kind of thing. And they're just asking you to ebb and flow with it. Like, don't allow the outside energies, like turn off your TV, stop watching TV. Do things that feed your soul, do things that are really good for you. And the color card they're coming through with, like, you allowing the colors of the world to embrace you. So it's like, stop focusing on the crappy stuff and remember the beauty. Remember, like, like I saw a rainbow yesterday, and it just stopped me in my tracks for a minute. I was like, wow, that's amazing, that's beautiful. Like, those are miracles. Those are the that is the beauty that is literally surrounding us. So Spirit's asking you to step outside, and just embrace the beauty that's around you. And the ground, something about grounding, like you really need to get grounded and not kind of be drawn into the ick or the energy of doubt and lack and scarcity and all that kind of stuff. They're asking you to really be present in the vibration of love, of, the fact that you've done so much work within you, and now you shining from within with everything that you've learned, with that knowledge and the wisdom that you have, and you standing in your own power, like not allowing things to bring you down, and not allowing things to pull you back to old ways of being and old ways of thinking and so on and so forth. Because there's like a temptation there, almost like a temptation a temptation with just old energy. It's like it's just coming back to poke at you a little bit, to say, are you really ready to move forward? Like, are you really done with that old vibrational, ick-based energy? Like, are you really ready to move forward? So, stand strong in your own power, stand strong in your own light. And again, first card is there is only light. So again, they're very like, don't be misguided by the darkness. Don't be misguided by the 3D fear-based bullshit that you know, that controlling energy that others try to project onto, you know, us as individuals and us as a species, so to speak. So they're really asking you to step into, you know, stand in your own light. Like you've worked hard to get here. So stand in your own light, stand in your own power, and remember who you are. Remember that remember the fullness of you, the completeness and the wholeness of you, because that is where your power is. So, you know, feel what you need to feel, allow these feelings to surface, but allow yourself to let them go, allow yourself to be free from them, and know that that's just fear-based mentality that's kind of sneaking up to, you know, distract you from the fact that you are a divine being and divine light, because that brings you into alignment. And the more you remain in your alignment, the more empowered you are, the more purposeful you feel. It's like there's that expansion of your alignment is affecting the people closest to you, and that ripple effect, right? So they're just asking you to stand in that power and stand in that alignment. And also, if you're seeing fours, they're coming forward with fours. They're asking you to kind of take note of that, because that's what's showing you, and they're like, hey, we're here with you, don't worry. Like so don't allow the distractions, don't allow the old energy to pull you back down. You're vibing up, you feel a fullness, and there's no, it's like you're searching for this reason. It's like, oh my god, I feel so good. Why? Like, accept it for what it is, that your vibration has shifted, and that feel good is where we're supposed to be, and where our personal power is, because allowing other things outside of us to dim our light and to pull us down into the ick, into the muck, keeps us, you know, clouded. So they're just asking you to stay in alignment and remember that your alignment and you being aligned with your highest self, you being aligned with this influx of powerful divine feminine energy, whether you're male or female, is powerful. And divine feminine energy that we all carry within us is about compassion and understanding that, you know, our passion for life is what feeds our soul. So if you're somebody who likes the outdoors and you know you go for a hike or you go for a swim in the lake or the ocean or whatever, that helps to rejuvenate you, that helps you to feel good, like just standing in the sunshine, like those kinds of things. They're asking you to, that's that self-nurturing, and that's that energy that they're asking you to really engage with right now, because that is going to feed your soul, and that's going to help you to clear away the stagnancy and clear away the old energy that's trying to hold you back and keep you stuck and keep you in that lower vibration. Because remember, we are meant to connect and expand and heal, and there's some energies out there that don't want us to be in that sense. Like, you know, they don't want us to understand that we literally are the alchemist of our life, right? We so they're showing me the stage, like we've set this stage for ourselves. The stage has been cleared, and now you are creating your own life. Like, you're now the alchemist in there. So think about it in the sense of source is the building, your higher self is the director, and you are the writer. So you're choosing who you want to play on your stage. You're choosing the situations you want, the people, places, and things that you want, and how you want this play to develop. So Spirit's asking you to really, you know, this comes into the insight, is asking you to really go within and ask yourself, what do I really want in this life? How do I want my life to look? And to build from that heart center, because that is creating this beautiful life for you. But they're asking you to move away from the logical mind and asking you to move away from doubt and fears and the hows and the whens and all things. Like, divine timing is amazing. So trust in divine timing. Trust in the fact that there is no dream that is too big or no dream that is too expansive for you to bring into fruition, because they're showing me like a lineup of like personal power points that you have gone through, and like where you've said, no, I'm taking my power back from this. I'm replacing this, you know, ick with light, and you cleared a lot of your space through light and through inner work. So they're showing me that, like, they're showing me the Care Bears where, you know, they have the emblem on their chest, and they beam out this beautiful whatever their, I guess whatever the emblem is on their chest. So you are that stability of light. Like, you're beaming out this beautiful light because through your own healing and through your own self-awareness, you've developed this beautiful place within you that you're able to shine, and you're able to be the lighthouse for other people. So use all of your wisdom and knowledge and healing and suffering and everything you've overcome to empower yourself and other people. So they're asking you to share that light and to stand strong in it, so that, you know, all this insight that you've gathered and all this wisdom that you've gathered, share it in whatever way you feel, you know, confident in whatever way you feel that resonates with you, whether it's with friends, whether it's social media, whether it's, you know, having discussions with your higher self and you talking things out through, you know, your own vibration with yourself, kind of thing. So just be mindful of how you're showing up for yourself, because it's very important right now, because of that personal power and that energy that's coming forward, because everything that your heart is desiring is literally here. So they're just asking you to make sure that you're aligning with that, and make sure that you're dropping the heavy weight that is trying to hold you back from that. And it has to come through you, and it has to come for you, like in that belief and in that in your beliefs and in your, like they're saying triumphs. So in your triumphs, and allowing yourself to be present with all that you've already overcome and all that you have accomplished, to remember that that's what's bringing forward this energy of abundance and this energy of fruition. Like all your heart's desires and your dreams are right there. So put them on your stage. Build that stage exactly how you want it, and don't allow anyone to, you know, talk shit into your dreams or talk shit into what you're trying to create for yourself. Because the parts of your soul family, the people who are really for you, won't talk doubt or fear or nonsense into your dreams. And you could say, oh, I'm going to build a castle on a hill and have 1,000 acres of land and blah, blah. And they'd be like, well, how the hell are you going to do that? You don't want those naysayers, right? Because they're talking shit into your dreams, and that's where the doubt and the fears. And, you know, surround yourself with those people and those soul family members that are like, yeah, like that's going to be amazing. And, you know, and talk it up. And remember, we can literally bring our dreams into fruition with our faith, with our trust, with our beliefs, with our knowing, and just trusting our heart center, rather than coming from the fear-based mentality of the hows and the whens, and, oh, this is going to cost money, how am I going to allow it to unfold for you? Because if that's what your heart truly desires, and you've done that work, it will literally unfold for you, and you will get like a path through. So they're showing me the pathway through the forest. So you're getting these cookie crumbs, you know, of your heart's desires to follow. So follow your heart's desires and move away from the logical thinking mind. Your authentic truth. So this is very much about you, you know, standing in your personal power, because you being the best version of yourself is helping the collective on a whole. You being the best version of yourself is keeping you in your own light and keeping your own personal power, and soulmating. So this one's very specific. So if you are single, then you loving yourself and you coming home to that place within you of self-love, like unconditional self-love, and healing the parts of you that you needed to heal in order to be in receiving for a healthy and like a healthy partnership. So you're inviting your soulmate in, you're inviting your soul partner in. And remember, we can only, like I always tell people, I will love you the way I love me. So the more I work on me and the better I feel and come home to that place of unconditional love for me, that's what I have to offer. So be in that place of power, be in that place of, you know, I love myself and I value myself and I trust in myself. And that's what I'm giving and sharing with my partner, who is also going to give and share that with me. So for those of you who are single, know that your soulmates are coming forward, and, you know, keep doing that inner work, and don't drag any past energy or any old ick energy into the new relationships, because this soulmating is all about offering you what you truly deserve and what your heart truly wants. So this is a gift from the universe. You've done the work. You've aligned yourself with a place of that unconditional self-love. And the sensitivity card is all about what matches with this, with the soulmating. So it's like, and also for those of you who are in healthy partnerships already, it's showing you that you guys will be leveling up to a higher place of love, a higher place of connection, a higher place of understanding and bonding. They're showing me bonding. So it's like, just, you're celebrating each other in some way. You're celebrating each other because it's like, wow, you know, yes. And you've done more healing together. You've done more inner work together. So they're showing me that you're for those who are in healthy partnerships, your connection is getting stronger. And the sensitivity is really much about you having that sense of self. It's like you're very sensitive to smells, to sounds, to light, to all of these kinds of things right now, because your body is also shifting into this higher vibration. So these sensitivities that you're feeling, and even energetically, like you people used to vibe with, you're just not feeling it anymore. And it's like you can, like, you walk into a room and you can kind of sense the energy right away, and you're very sensitive to it. So if it's like you smell something and it just kind of makes your stomach do a flop, like, it's because your physical body and your expansion is kind of heightening all your sensitivities. So trust this, like, trust the vibration of, you know, I'm around certain people and it just doesn't feel, you know, healthy anymore, or those kinds of things. So they're asking you to trust in that, in those sensitivities that are now coming up, and those sensitivities that are surfacing. So even like with this ascension and with your growth right now, you may be getting headaches and kind of an upset stomach, or just achy, like aches and pains that you may not have had before. But that's just your physical body trying to ascend with your energetic self. So they're asking you to be patient with that and to nurture your body, mind, and soul during this transformation, because there's so many beautiful things coming forward. There's so much, you've done so much work. Don't get disheartened by, like, it feels like there's been a few stumbles over the last few weeks, or last couple of weeks, that you just felt crap, and it was like, what is this? Which I can totally resonate with. So they're just asking you to not be discouraged. You know, trust what you're feeling. Know the sensitivities that you're feeling in your physical body and your spiritual body are completely natural, because you are ascending, because you are growing, and you are expanding. Okay. All right, my pile number one. I hope you resonated with that, and I hope you have a beautiful day. And our pile number twos. So our Malachite piles. What do we have? Okay. Okay, so this is coming through very strong about like clearing. Like, you've struggled to reach the top of the mountain. Like, you've struggled, and it's also number 6. They're asking me to draw you to the number 6 if you're seeing like the number 6 a lot, whether it's just 6 or 6. And 6s are about expansion, new beginnings, and all these beautiful energies. So, you know, look up the spiritual meaning of the number 6, or the numerology meaning of number 6, and take that in, so to speak. So they're just saying, like, there's been a lot of struggle, there's been a lot of feeling of scarcity, and some very difficult times that you've had to like a lot of fight or flight energy. So you've kind of been in like a waiting room. It feels like you've been very like lost and wondering, what the hell am I supposed to do from here? Or it's almost like a victimhood mode where, you know, what else can go wrong now? Like that kind of a mindset. And that's just fear-based mentality that's trying to move itself out of you. And it's kind of put you on hold. Like, your team's kind of put you on hold for you to be able to tap in to that higher self, that, you know, the higher divine being that you are, that higher self. And they're showing you that, you know, this is time for you to clear clutter within you and outside of you. So clearing your inner space. So being present with yourself and clearing out emotions, and stop hiding from emotions and stop hiding from things that need to be cleared and need to be released and, washed away, so to speak. So they're asking you to allow these things to come to surface, allow these things to heal and to be released. It's like it's time for you to come out of the ghost land, so to speak. So that's very much about you taking time to do some inner work, taking time to really ground into yourself, really ground into your personal power, and clearing away old energies. There's just feels like there's stagnant energy that's just holding on. It's like clearing the crust off of something. It's like this something I like. So they show me a geode. Those, I don't know if I have one here on my desk, but they show me the geode, which is that crystal that it looks like a rock, just a plain old rock on the outside kind of thing, and then you break it open and it's all crystallized like this on the inside kind of thing. So they're asking you to not be distracted and not allow the crustiness, I guess you could say, of the old to keep you locked into that repeating pattern of, like, they show me a dog chasing its tail. It's like you've been stuck in this repetitive pattern of just unhealthy energy. So they're asking you to allow it to be cleared away because you struggled to climb to the mountain, like to the top of the mountain. And you're just like, you're so close, and they're asking you to follow the light. You see on the card it has the light. So they're asking you to follow the light to that clarity within, to that part of you where you are gaining clarity, you're gaining more momentum to step forward and into your full power. And cleaning house is all about you doing that inner cleaning and that exterior cleaning. So moving away from energies that just aren't serving your highest and your greatest good, moving away from energies and situations that are not feeding the becoming and feeding, who you are becoming. So they're asking you to kind of allow things to fall away that need to fall away and allow things to be cleared out. So it's like, when we clean out our closet and I haven't worn those in a year, I haven't worn those in 5 years, or to clear it out. Like, it's time to let things go and clear your space. So they're asking you to clear your internal space and your physical space. So, like, I guess a spring clean, you could say, because moving into this new moon in Cancer tomorrow is all about clearing emotions and all about ebbing and flowing and allowing things to come and allowing things to go. So they're asking you to be present with your feelings and to allow them to clear out. Allow yourself to let go and move away from like toxic comforts, unhealthy comforts. It's like they're talking about the devil that like the devil So moving away from that kind of energy that it's like, well, I know what to expect here. So, so they're asking you to move away from that because it's very important for you to allow the newness and allow the energy that wants to come forward, that's about new beginnings and deeper healing and deeper self-awareness and everything. They're just asking you to allow that to come back and to allow yourself to really be present in the newness and not fear letting go and being in that solitude for a minute kind of thing, okay? Because that's going to bring you back to your spark, and you're going to start hearing the music of life again. You're going to start hearing the presence of your team. So call on your team, work with them. Remember, our team works with us all day, every day, but we also have free will. So they can't always step in. So we have to ask them, like, my divine team, I ask you for divine guidance. I ask you for divine healing. I ask you for divine intervention. When we ask for divine intervention, they can literally come in and remove shit that's just not serving us and is not for our highest and our greatest good. So, ask them for that support, ask them for that help. Allow yourself to feel, deal, heal, and release. And really, work with them, because it feels like you've lost that spark. You've lost that passion for life, that passion for your pure presence on this earth. So they're asking you to come back to that playfulness, come back to that place within you where, you get excited over watching a storm come in, or you get excited over seeing a rainbow, or you get excited over, going for a jog, whatever you feel that, the simplicity of life where you used to get that spark of excitement, that spark of happiness. You've kind of lost that spark. So they're asking you to come home to that. And you have everything within you. So education is about the place within you. You have all this inner wisdom, and you have that sense of knowing, and you have that intuition. So it's time to open that book of knowledge for yourself and trust in what you're feeling from your heart space and from your intuition, rather than the logical thinking mind that is fear-based. So you moving away from that logical thinking mind into your heart space is going to help you to get it's like you're searching for some answers, or you're searching for some kind of closure, and it's within you. You're looking for closure, you're looking for answers outside of yourself, but they're saying that it's within you, and to open that book of wisdom, to open that place within you where the trust is for yourself and the trust is for the universe, and not to fear letting go, and not to fear moving forward, and not to fear that what you're feeling within you, that is your inner guide. That's, that's your higher self speaking directly to you. Because when we hold on to things that our soul knows that they're not good for us, then we repeat those patterns. So it's that dog chasing their tail, right? So we're stuck in these repetitive patterns. So just asking you to open that inner wisdom, open that inner knowledge, and work with that. And it's going to help you to release things that just aren't serving you, and to kind of rip off the band-aid, so to speak. So we're Wizard of Awareness. Again, all this knowledge that is within you. You, like, the body, mind, and soul. So you have this inner knowledge, you have this inner wisdom, and they're asking you to be present with that and to trust in that. And they're also bringing it forward for threes, because you have 34, 35, and 3. So 3, 3, 3. And they're just saying to, that's body, mind, and soul connection. Like, so allow yourself to free yourself from old energy, allow yourself to move forward, allow yourself to be that alchemist of your life. And you're magic. The wizard, the that's all about magic and personal power, and you being your own light. Like the staff he has with the light on the tip, like you can be your own guide and your own light, and drawing in from your spirit team, drawing in from your higher self, where that knowledge and that power is, and that feeling of safe, and like feeling safe and secure within yourself, and rebuilding your confidence in the divine being that you are, regardless of whether you're male or female. You are a divine being. So they're asking you to come home to that, and remember that, and remember that, you know what, I was born for a higher purpose, and I'm going to allow myself to be guided to that higher purpose. Okay? So don't shy away from your healing. Don't shy away from the things that you need to feel, and the things that you need to heal, because that's going to allow this amazing expansion within you, and you'll start feeling more confident and more stable, and more just finding that happy within you, finding that place of personal power and empowerment within you, because it feels like you're giving your energy to things that are disempowering, and they're just asking you to move away from that, because it's really time for you to embrace something better and higher and more beautiful, that is in alignment with your highest and your greatest good, in alignment with your becoming, in alignment with the fruition of life and what is being offered to you. So sad embrace. This is about, you allowing yourself to let things go. You allowing yourself to embrace the truth of a situation, they're saying, like the truth of something that you've been fighting against. So it's like, okay, but I want this, and within yourself that it's not healthy, and it's not good for you, and it's not serving your highest and your greatest good, because you're putting something else, like it's like you're giving your power away, and you're like, if it's an unhealthy relationship, you're giving your power to the other person, and they're asking you to, and it's not easy for you to embrace your own power, and embrace the sadness, and embrace the transition, because it's a transition that hurts. When a wound is healing, like if somebody breaks a bone, it hurts, and it takes time for it to heal, and it's painful. So they're asking you to embrace the pain and embrace the suffering, so to speak, so that you can release it and know that on the other side of this is beauty and joy and bliss and all of these things that are in support of your growth and in support of your becoming and in support of all that you are manifesting for yourself. So remember, what we feel we attract, right? So they're asking you to find that confidence again within yourself and find that place of feeling safe and secure within yourself and not seeking validation outside of you, or not, almost like not dimming yourself down to be what somebody else or other people want you to be. Like you being in your own personal power, you taking your own power back and allowing the sadness to happen, because you have to go through grief in certain situations in order to heal. So we all go through grieving stages in life, whether it's from, if we lose a job, if we lose a loved one, or if we end a relationship, like all these kind of things, we go through that grieving process. But there's so much power in there if we allow it to be. So asking you to take your power back from there and to know that it's just a transition period, and to call on your team for healing, to call on your team to give you that support and give you that guidance and work with you for that healing. It's all about the intention that you're setting, and setting an intention for yourself to be present and to heal and to allow this new birth of, or this rebirth of self. So it's like you've chosen the journey of healing, but it's been very mucky, like very, you feel like, okay, I'm on my path, I feel good, and then it dips down and something happens. So they're just saying, like, to set your intention from within yourself, to say, I surrender to my healing. I surrender to this rebirth of my life, because that's where that power is. That's where, making your wishes. Because if you see the owl, number one, owl's about wisdom. So you have all the wisdom within you, and you have everything you need within you. And then this is I can't remember what they call it, but it's a dandelion thing, and you blow it and the seeds go everywhere. So you're planting all these new seeds, and also it's number 22. So again, that's divine support. So then you're planting all these seeds for newness and for new beginnings and for prosperity and fruition, but you have to let go of the old, because the egg is about rebirth. You're literally birthing something new, and something that is, let's just say, it'll be better than what you could have even thought. So it'll be like, wow, like, once you're there, and once you are able to go within and free yourself, and embrace the freedom, it's going to bring a whole new way of seeing, like a higher perspective for you. Because bone collector, like, they have the medicine mill and everything, and it's very much about you transitioning. They're just showing me a lot about transitioning, a lot about you being present. Like I know in a lot of native cultures, they use bones to tell a story, and that's what they're saying. So it's like, allow your past to show you the story. Like, allow the story to show you, like, where you were giving your power away, or where you felt disempowered, or I gained wisdom from this situation. So this, whatever the situation is, it was shitty and it was horrible and it was hard and blah blah blah, but I'm taking my power back because I gained wisdom, I gained knowledge, I gained strength. And it feels like situations that you have gone through, especially in relationships with not just like romantic partnerships, but family and friends and stuff like that, people have shown you who they are. And so take off those rose-colored glasses and take it for what it is, because you being the best you is going to help that old stagnant energy kind of drift away. Because it's like, what, looking back at your past with power, looking back at your past and saying, what, I survived this, and I now know better for myself. I know what I don't want, and now I know more of what I do want. And so you're moving towards the do wants. So they're asking you to, be that bone collector, be that collector of wisdom and of knowledge and of personal power. Because the crown chakra, right? You have the personal power, you have that knowledge, you have that wisdom. It's just been kind of shielded because of old attachments. So they're asking you to release attachments and allow yourself to move forward in an expansive way and trust the process. You can't see, what the next step is, but they're asking you to trust that process and just be present in the moment and be present with your healing and surrender to the healing, because your next step will be that expansiveness and that allowance of allowing things to come forward, the newness, the new beginnings in life. And that's where you will start to really, celebrate, because you'll be like, wow, I did all this inner work, and now you find that happiness within yourself that you've been seeking. You find that love within yourself that you've been seeking outside of yourself. So they're just saying, like, do that inner work, because the sadness or the pain or the grieving that you are, it's like you're going back and forth with it. So they're saying, like, once you embrace it and once you allow yourself to grieve and allow yourself to fully release and move forward, you're going to have so much more within you where you'll feel that confidence and you'll feel that happiness and you'll feel that joy and you'll feel that bliss. So be very present with yourself and be very present with your healing. Allow your spirit team to work with you. Call on them and, let them work with you. Okay. All right, my loves. And now pile number 3 for Rhodochrosite. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so our first one, a tidy house. Clarity and organization. So this feels like you're clearing space. Like you've gone, and they also bring me to your root chakra. Like you're feeling more grounded. You feel like there's so many things that you've cleared away now that you've now made room for, healthier things to come forward. And it's like there's this feeling of more solidity within yourself, more solidity within who you are and everything that you've overcome and everything that you've accomplished within your, like, on your healing journey. So it's like they're just asking you to, stay with that and keep clearing and decluttering, like keep letting the energy shift and ebb and flow with it, because right now there's a lot of influx coming in with solar flares and all of these beautiful energies coming forward, and they can have you feeling off. So, and they're just asking you to, trust this vibration, trust your expansion, trust the work you've already done. Like if you've cleared out so much already, you've cleared out so much like stagnant energy and energy that just wasn't serving you. And something about like jobs, like changing jobs or wanting to change a job, or something about like your career is shifting, and it's because you're allowing things to shift. So this will be for a few of you, I'm sure, but you've allowed things to shift in a certain way. So it's like whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's moving homes or kind of thing, you're allowing things to kind of shift. You're allowing things to be removed that within you, within your heart and within that intuition, that just weren't serving you any longer, and that it was safe for you to let them go, and it was safe for you to really move forward and surrender it to the universe, kind of thing. So you have also in the hand, so the universe is your partner. So you've been co-creating with divine source, and co-creating with that divine power of clarity and understanding, and it just feels like a lot of surrender. It's just like, what, screw it, it is what it is. And almost like you went through this really frustrating period of a lot of what the fucks kind of thing. So they're saying, like, you've done this allowance, and you've come to this place of, hey, I am the co-creator. Like, I'm co-creating with the creator of worlds. And it's like a feeling of power, a feeling of personal power, a feeling of personal like strength and higher vibration of that love and that inner guidance, and that you've come home to a place of trust. You've come home to a place of you're just allowing things to unfold. You're allowing things to show you, so to speak. It's like, okay, Normally when I go to work, I go this way and that way, and I go left. But this time, my spirit team's telling me to go right, so I'm going to go right. Why the hell not? So it's like you're not, it doesn't feel like you're getting as lost in the outside nonsense and the frustrations. Like you hit a traffic jam, and instead of like, oh my God, and freaking out about it, now you're like, well, there's obviously a purpose for this. Maybe spirit wants me to slow down. So it feels like you've overcome a lot of stagnancy and a lot of frustration, and you finally come into this place of, where you can breathe, and that self-awareness and that knowledge of, yeah, I am bigger than just my physical self. I'm, expansive and divine and infinite. So they're just showing you that you've really come forward for yourself, and you've really opened up to your team. And now they're asking you to continue to work with your team, continue to work with that higher part of yourself, and, keep everything flowing and stay grounded. Like a lot about your root chakra and being grounded, because it feels like almost like a spacey feeling in my head, like not a headache, but kind of like a brain foggy kind of feeling and a little pressure. So it feels like, you're very high vibing right now, and it's like, whoo, it's like you're on all the time. So they're saying, make sure you're doing some grounding, make sure you're getting out in nature, even just stand outside and put your feet in the grass kind of thing, or put your feet in water. You can even if have a salt bath. Those are amazing for being grounded. Meditate with crystals that are grounding, like black onyx or black obsidian, stuff like that, black tourmaline, and help yourself to feel more grounded. And even red stones like red jasper and stuff like that are good for grounding, and to carry something with you that helps you to remain grounded and to stay in your own personal power. Many masks. So this is about you staying true to your authentic self, because a lot of things are going on outside of yourself right now, and they're asking you, just regardless of what's happening on the outside, stay in your authentic power, stay in your authentic truth, stay, your genuine self. Who you are is amazing. So embrace that and stay there, and allow that to be your truth always, no matter where you are, no matter who you're around. If you're struggling when you're around people, because so they show me the hermit, like they taking some time to kind of remove yourself from, the day-to-day outside noise, and take some time to be with yourself and just, rejuvenate and regenerate. Because remember, you have to nourish yourself in order to flourish. So they're asking you to take that time when you need it, so that you're standing up for yourself, and you're standing up with your authenticity, and you're not feeling like you have to put a mask on to dim your light or dumb yourself down for people that are outside of you. Like with, I don't know, they're saying boring conversations that are frustrating you. So just not to feel obligated to be on someone else's level, and to stay on your level, and stay on your authentic self, so you don't feel like you have to wear a mask to make other people comfortable, because you are freaking amazing. So they're saying, like, don't shy away from the work you've done for yourself. Like, this is a time for you to embrace and celebrate, because you have done the work. And if others haven't as of yet, that's not on you. So don't dim yourself in order to make them comfortable. So your first card again, many masks. So they're just coming strong with, don't allow other people to have you feeling like you need to dim your light, or that you need to be a projection of what they expect you to be, because it feels like there's energies around you that are not trying to bring you down, so to speak, but also not supporting your growth and supporting who you have become, the person that you've grown into. Like they and it just comes from a place of not understanding. Like, they don't understand who you are now. They have an attachment to the old part of you, and they just haven't grown with you. So they're really asking you to stand strong in your own power. You have done the work, and allow other people to do theirs, and stand in your own power no matter where you are. Be authentically you no matter where you are. Sky Bridge, possibility for union. So this feels very much about, there's a lot of soul family coming forward during this whole transition period, which is fabulous, because it's going to be those people who are for you, those people who understand you, and those people who are standing up for you, and not, speaking doubt into your growth or speaking doubt into your dreams and stuff like that. So there's also the union of, so when they're talking about possibility for union, that's your soul family. And also there's a soul like mate coming forward. If you're single, there's like, that's part of your soul family though. So the people that love you, support you, and hold space for you, and who just get you. Like, you don't have to put a mask on or dumb yourself down or anything like that. They get you, and you can have those deep conversations that you enjoy having. You can have that expansive conversation, or you can, stop and be like, oh my God, look at that, look at the sky, isn't that beautiful? Or wow, look at those clouds. Like, that appreciation that you have, they're right there with you. And they don't be like, they're not the ones to be like, yeah, I see the sky all the time. Right? So it's the support of who you are rather than attachment to who you were. So the possibility for union is you've taken so much, like so many steps forward, that, and you've released so much garbage and clutter, that these unions are now able to come forward. So, you're going to be running into your part of your soul family, like people, new people, places, and things. So they're just asking you to be there and embrace that and enjoy that, because these unions are going to be part of your becoming and feeding your soul, feeding your place, feeding that place within you of personal power. Wailing tree, reconciliation. So with this one, they're just asking me to, it's about like rebirth and allowing things to fall away. They're like, it's like that reconciliation of self, to say, you know what, I've done all this hard work, I've done all this healing, I've done all these beautiful things for myself, that I no longer accept anything less outside of myself. So it feels like there's going to be old energy coming back to test your boundaries, so to speak. So they're asking you to, don't allow those things to attach to you. Like, allow them to burn away, allow them to be released, allow them to either be reborn through healing and through authenticity, or allowing them to burn away, so that, it's just no longer part of your truth, no longer part of your future self. And you have to trust that within yourself, of what is the let go and what is the reconciliation part of, that rebirth of friendships or relationships, that, where you're doing that healing together, and you're coming together to heal, and it's healthy and it's strong, and it's give and take for both of you, because it's rather than you giving, there's now that give and take. But you have to trust yourself in knowing what connections are healing and healthy and what are not, because not everybody has done their work, and that's okay. They will or they won't, but it's not your responsibility to, bring the horse to water and force them to drink. So they're just asking you to be very mindful and be very aware, because for your soul family to come forward, you're creating space by releasing old attachments and old energies of what you used to be and how you used to show up for yourself or not show up for yourself. Okay, so they just want you to make sure that you're in that sense of personal power, and know that, okay, this feeds my soul and this doesn't, so I need to let this go in order to really align with what feeds my soul and what feeds that bliss and that happiness that is within me. Okay. All right. So, like I was saying about the new beginnings are coming forward, but you need to create space for them by allowing yourself to let go, because you have the Moon Maiden, new beginnings, the wall, obstacles, and then empty well, time to replenish. Time to replenish. So this is showing me, and what they're saying is, these new beginnings are literally right here. Like, they're ready to come forward. They're ready to make their debut. So the obstacles are you choosing, what is feeding you and what is draining you? So that's kind of where you're at as far as, okay, I'm ready for these new beginnings and woohoo, yay. But let me allow myself to move through this, because moving into the new moon of Cancer is about emotions and fluidity and allowing what is to come and to go. So they're asking you to like not feel like you're stuck behind the wall. Like, don't feel like you're stuck. The wall is just like slowing you down, so you can do that kind of self-assessment to say, is this serving me or is this draining me? Like, is this feeding me or is this, make me feel depleted kind of thing? So, embrace it. Change is good. New beginnings are beautiful. New beginnings are in alignment with your heart's desires if you allow them to be. Because the empty well is that you've cleared all this space and you feel kind of lonely for a while. Like, it does. Like, when we go through ascensions and when we go through these changes, we do go through those moments, those times of feeling alone and feeling lonely. But it's because you've created space for the new beginnings to come in. If we keep our well full all the time with garbage, there's no room for new things to come forward. So they're just asking you to be patient, because the beautiful light in between the well, right? And the red, they're drawing me back to that, the burning willow, the burning tree, to show you that you're burning away all that is not healthy and not serving you, because that this is the core of you, that's the center of who you are, because all of these cards have the center of power, right? The center of power. So you clearing away and allowing your well to clear out, and not holding on so tightly to things that you're afraid to lose, and so on and so forth. So moving through that place of attachment into the being of non-attachment, and allowing your well to replenish itself, which it's going to, with the new beginnings. Because once you get past the obstacles, which is the center card, you go from new beginnings to it's replenishing. So you're replenishing your well, you're feeling rejuvenated and flourish and all these beautiful things. So there's asking you to release the reins and allow yourself to be replenished with things that are healing and energies that are healing and supportive and wonderful and beautiful, and not to feel like you're stuck, because it's going to feel lonely for a little while, but it's for the highest good of you, the highest good of your growth, and the highest good of all the beautiful new beginnings that are in service to you and that are, part of your flourishing and your fruition and all the joys of the becoming. Okay. All right, my loves. And now I'm going to do a collective pull. So we're going to start with surrender cards, because these are one of my favorite decks, because they're just kind of no nonsense. They're like, listen, let shit go. Okay, let's see. So on a collective, what is Spirit asking of us? And then I will pull the moon cards for the new moon tomorrow. Surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in your relationships. Practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. So you're setting healthy boundaries, you're setting healthy limits. Those who are meant to be flourishing with you and those who are meant to be part of your becoming will respect your healthy boundaries. And it's like they're just showing you that it's going to kind of put people in certain categories. So this, A, B, and C respects my healthy boundaries, and I can just be myself here, and they just get me, they understand me. And then B is people that are attached to old parts of you and who aren't taking the time to learn about the new you or to do their own work so that they can kind of evolve with you. So there's asking you to surrender the setting limits of, having boundaries. Like, set those healthy boundaries. That's what's important. You need to have healthy boundaries. We all do. Surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. So I get this a lot with Spirit about releasing stress, releasing worries, releasing doubts, because they do not serve us. That's fear-based mentality. That's a 3D mentality, the program mentality of society where we've been for, 1,000 years kind of thing. but feeding into the stress, feeding into the worry, feeding into the fear and the disconnect and the division is like feeding the collective poison. So the more we surrender to the healing, the more we surrender to the beauty of life and that higher vibrational self of all of us, about like as individuals, the more we're feeding the collective, healthy energy. So remember, what we give attention to gives it power. So if we're giving attention to the ick, then the ick has more power. If we're giving attention to the healing and the healthy and the happy and the joy, then that's what we're giving power to. And on a collective energy, that serves every single being on the planet. So, surrender stress, because it's feeling that the woulda, coulda, shouldas when we're thinking about the past, or the what ifs of the future, that's not serving you. That's not serving any of us. So being present and just being like, you know what, I know that I have the power to choose how I'm going to feel. And I choose to feel good. I choose to feel bliss. I choose to feel happy. And that's empowering for you, because that helps you to feel in that heart center where you belong. Okay. And it also helps, obviously, the collective energy. Surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. So this is very much about getting this a lot too, with not being judgmental of others. So others who haven't done the work, or others who haven't done as much work as you, or others you feel like, we get that spiritual ego that somebody's beneath us because, well, I figured this out and blah blah. Like, it's not about that. It's about the unity. It's about the collectiveness, and you sharing your wisdom and your guidance and just who you are through how you, like, your healing journey. That's empowering to the entire collective, because that's showing up for yourself, and that's showing up for all of us as a whole. So make sure you're not getting lost in the lower vibrational ego, where that's egotistical, rather than healthy confidence that I've come this far and I've shown up for myself, and I'm now part of this beautiful whole energy, and I'm able to add to the collective in a really healthy and positive way, rather than adding to the fear and the scarcity and the lack of old energy. Okay, now we're going to pull a couple of moon cards in honor of the beautiful new moon in Cancer tomorrow. Oh, okay. Well, these ones wanted to come out, so. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. So, by action, they mean it's like it's time to take that action within yourself and surrender to the healing, surrender to the unity of the consciousness, the unity of the oneness, and embrace the newness, embrace the feeling where we're moving away from judgment, we're moving away from scarcity, we're moving away from fear, and collectively coming into a higher power of love, a higher power of understanding, a higher power of patience and respect for, life in the oneness, right? So they're just asking you to, stand up in that collective energy of healing and love and power and joy, and move away from the scarcity and all the ick that has been, part of our existence for 1,000 years, so to speak. So it's like, take action in your fruition, and you're standing up for yourself, and you're standing up for that place of, I have done the inner work, I have surrendered to my healing journey, and I'm sharing, my love and my high vibrational self with the collective energy. So they're just asking us to all just stand up in that higher vibrational power, stand up in that 5D power, so to speak, and really be present with the becomings and the newness and the new beginnings and the power of love. As cheesy as that sounds, we're moving away from scarcity into the loving vibration. So they're like, stand up and be there. Conclusions are within reach. So full moon eclipse, we're still in eclipse energy from March and April, but we've now put it, like, that's all coming to a close now. So everything that we had to close out with that, the things that the eclipse brought up, whether, I know a lot of relationships had begun to end during the eclipse season because they needed to. So things that have transpired during the eclipse seasons, it's now time for the endings and the conclusions and the close those books and start a new chapter energy. So but it has to be coming from you. You have to be ready for it. You have to be willing to surrender it, and you have to be willing to allow certain doors to close so that you can, embrace these new beginnings and embrace this new energy and embrace this healing. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Beautiful. So that's pretty straightforward. Your hard work is paid off because, so many of us have done so much deep healing over this year, like these past 6 months, and it's brought us to a place of newness. We're not who we were 6 months ago. We're not who we were a year ago, 10 years ago, and so on and so forth. So it's like, now is that time for fruition. We have done the inner work. We are now like finding that happiness within ourselves, finding that soul purpose within ourselves, finding that place of inner peace and joy and bliss is now allowing the newness to come forward and the healing energy to come forward and all these beautiful new beginnings to come forward. So, our teams are just asking us to be present, and enjoy the joy. Like, don't focus on what isn't there as of yet, because it is here. All that our heart desires, it's here. We're just clearing space for it to come into the physical right now. So make sure you're staying, focused on the joy and celebrating yourself, like how far you have come and how much work you've done within yourself and how much joy you've brought to yourself through this healing journey, even through this like this trauma and this pain and this suffering. You've come out the other side and have found this beautiful light within you. So feed that light. All right. Ooh. Hot moon extremes. So this hot moon extremes. So this is about passion. So this is about like personal passion and it's like we're finding this personal passion again. We're finding this passion for life. We're finding this passion for living and not just existing. It's like you can step outside and appreciate the rain, appreciate the sun, appreciate just your surroundings and where you are, because that passion that we've lacked for so long with life, because we became very robotic. You get up, you have a routine, you go to bed. Like it was very routine and very robotic. And now we're coming out of that because we had to. And now we see so much more and we feel so much more. So that's the purity. So we've stepped into this power of purity, that we stepped into this power of rejuvenation, rebirth, and the purity of life, and the purity of keeping things simple in life. Like finding joy in nature, finding joy in taking a walk, finding joy in, curling up and reading a book or something like that. Like the simplicity and the purity of what bliss is and what joy is, without having all these expectations of striving to achieve things in the material world. Like, okay, well, I need this job so I can buy that expensive car, so I can buy that, $10 million house and all this kind of stuff. We've shifted away from that, because that stuff in the bigger picture doesn't matter. If that's what you want in life, then you will manifest that. But through purity, through enjoyment, through love, through bliss, and not through a place of lack, not through a place of, I need this to portray myself as something. You want this because you want this, not to prove yourself to anybody or not to show up as something to the outside world. You just want this because that's what feeds your soul. That's what you like. That's what you love. So remember the purity and the bliss of being present and all that you've already accomplished, so that you can really expand and allow everything else to come forward. Long night moon, darkness. So we've all gone through that transition of the dark night of the soul, so to speak. So we're finally coming out of that and stepping into the new moon in Cancer is stepping into that empowerment and that joy and that being present with your feelings, being present with your emotions, and allowing that fluidity and the ebb and flow of life to happen without you having attachments or without you judging. like not judging yourself, not judging others, and just being present and allowing yourself to be, where you need to be for your healing and for your expansion and for your growth. There's always going to be, something on the outside world that bothers you, or that, that you see as unjust. So they're just saying to, don't get stuck there. Allow yourself to come out of that, and to not get blinded by the darkness that, that can surround us in the outside world, and give yourself that empowerment of your truth and how you can contribute. So there's a rabbit in this picture, and rabbits are all about movement and fruition, and it's very much asking you to move through the darkness. Don't get stuck there. Don't focus on something. Like if you're watching something on the news that is bringing your vibe down, and you're starting to feel like that sense of injustice, or that injustice, or that sense of sadness or frustration or whatever, turn it off. And get back to your personal power, and move through that ick, and move through that darkness, and send out positivity. Send out that divine feminine healing energy, because that's what is helping the collective. Not us being fearful and worried and angry and, all of that. It's about us coming together in that healing to say, you know what, I can send this whole situation to divine source love. Make sure you're sending it from divine source, because that is infinite. Divine source love is an infinite love. So send that out to whatever situation that you feel is unjust, or whatever situation you feel is frustrating and angry. Like any situation or any people, places, or things that have you feeling anything less than your happy, blissful self, send it divine source love. And that's going to help you to clear and to live a mindful life, because you have power over your emotions. You have power over your thoughts and your feelings. So being present and knowing that I have control over this. I can surrender this feeling of scarcity to source. I can surrender this feeling of fear to source, and allow it to go. So remember, guys, ebbing and flowing right now is very important, and really embrace this new moon energy for the new beginnings, and, be present, be mindful. Mindfulness is a lifestyle. So the more we allow ourselves to be mindful, the more clarity we gain, and the more bliss we invite into our lives. All right, my loves, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope you enjoy tomorrow's amazing new moon in the beautiful water sign of Cancer. Stay blessed.